Welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, your trusted source for expert guidance on aging safely and independently. Whether you're a caregiver, a family member, or a senior looking to stay secure at home and beyond, we've got you covered. From fall prevention and home modifications to financial safety and scam awareness, we provide practical tips to help you or your loved ones live with confidence. Tune in and empower yourself with the knowledge you need to navigate the challenges of aging. Let's make safety simple.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. Today we're going to talk about a topic that hopefully not many of you will have to deal with, but some of you might. It's how to move a parent with dementia into memory care. It's a big decision and of course can feel very overwhelming, but don't worry, we've got some great tips to help make this transition smoother for everyone involved. So let's get to it. Moving a loved one with dementia is never easy, but sometimes it's necessary for their safety and well-being. So the first thing to remember is that you're not alone in this. Many families go through this process, and there are ways to make it less stressful, both for you and your parent. Now, you might be wondering, when is the right time to make this move? You've been taking care of them maybe for months or years, and now comes a time where it may have gotten to the point where you simply can't take care of them as much as they need. Well, there's no one-size-fits-all answer, that's for sure. Just like dementia is not the same in every person, the treatment or the care is not the same either. But there are some signs to look out for. So if your parent is having trouble with obviously daily activities, especially if they're wandering off or if their care needs have become too much for you to handle at home, then these three main reasons might be a time, it's time to consider looking for memory care or some additional help, simply. Sometimes they just need more medical attention. Sometimes, your work is impeding in your ability to care for them the way they need. It could be so many different situations. So one thing that surprised me when I was looking over, researching this topic is that the move itself might not be as traumatic for your parent as it is for you. I know that when I worked as an occupational therapist in the field of geriatrics, and I did a lot of work with seniors with dementia and their families, that this was very true. The drama or the trauma is not as apparent in your parent. It's not as if it doesn't affect your parent as much as it affects the family. The family is really the one that suffers the most during this time. By the time someone with dementia needs memory care, their condition has often progressed to a point where the change really isn't as disruptive as you may think. That's not to say it's going to be a breeze, it's going to be easy, but it's something to keep in mind if you're feeling guilty about the decision. Now, speaking of guilt, let's talk about that for a second. It's totally normal to feel guilty or sad about having to make this decision. But remember, you're making the decision out of love and concern for your parents' well-being. Memory care facilities are specifically designed to provide the kind of support and care that people with dementia need. The staff are trained to work with cognitive decline, and the environment is set up to be safe and engaging for residents. Of course, this doesn't mean that you should just plunk them into any memory care unit. You want to, just like anything, you want to investigate it and you want to make sure that it's the right place for your mom or dad. Okay, so let's get into some practical tips for making the move as smooth as possible. The very first thing, of course, is preparation. Preparation is key for most anything, but especially for this. It's a good idea to consult with social worker or geriatric care manager who obviously has experience with dementia patients. They can help you assess what your parent can handle emotionally and give you some, experience advice. Now, the next thing would be to create a timeline for the move. This isn't something that you want to rush. You want to take your time to choose the right facility, to get all the paperwork in order, and to decide what belongings your parent will bring with them. Now, speaking of belongings, obviously they can't take everything with them. So you want to focus on bringing familiar, comforting items, things like a favorite chair, family photos, their favorite music, things that'll help create a sense of home in their new space. Perhaps it could be a painting or an object, anything, that will remind them of home or make it feel more homey for them. Could even be curtains, anything at all. Um, Now, here's something that might seem counterintuitive to you, that the idea is that it might be better not to involve your parent too much in the moving process. For many older adults with dementia, the stress of having to make these decisions and to see their things being packed up can be very, very overwhelming. Instead, you may want to handle most of the logistics of this move behind the scenes. Um, I know it sounds difficult that you're doing things behind their back, but the reality is, just like you would protect a child from having to make major decisions like this, you want to protect your parent as well. Most families that I worked with elderly parents who had dementia still tried or did treat their parents as if their parents were who they were before dementia. But the reality is that you can't do that anymore because they're not thinking that way anymore. Their brain simply isn't working in that manner anymore. So you want to take a step back and protect them and also make it easier on yourself to, continue with this very difficult process. So when it comes to the actual moving day, you want to keep things calm and low key. Your parent is going to pick up on your emotions. So if you're stressed, they're going to probably react and be stressed. So you want to try to stay positive and reassuring. Now, don't feel like you have to do this all on your own. Obviously, you want to reach out to family members, to friends, to professional movers for help. There are senior care movers that you can contact to help you with this process. The more support you have, the smoother the process will be. Now, once your parent is settled in their new home, the new environment, this is when the adjustment period begins. Now, this can be tricky because it's going to be different for everyone. Some parents might need you there every day for the first couple of weeks, while others may adjust better if you limit your visits at first to let them settle into this new routine. Now, you know your parent best, so trust your instincts, but also trust the advice of the professionals around you, the caregivers at the memory care facility, the nurses there, the social worker. They can help you through this. They've been through this hundreds, if not thousands of times. So remember to keep the communication open with the staff and the memory care facility. They're your partners in this, literally, and they can keep you updated on how your parent is adjusting. And if they have any concerns, they will talk to you. Now, I want to take a moment to tell you that this is a very big transition for you, as well as your senior parent, of course. It's very important to take care of yourself during this process. Obviously, it's okay to feel sad, to feel relieved, at the same time to feel guilty, to feel any combination of all of these emotions. Give yourself the grace and time to adjust to this new chapter, not only in your life, but in your parents' life as well. So before we wrap up, let's recap some of the key points. 1, prepare as much as possible before the move. 2, focus on bringing familiar, comforting items to your parents' new space. 3, stay calm and positive on moving day. 4, be flexible with the adjustment period. 5, communicate openly with the facility staff. And 6, most importantly, take care of yourself too. Now remember, you're making this decision out of love and concern for your parents' well-being. It's not an easy journey. And if you've been caring for your parent with dementia for a while, you know the entire process is not an easy journey. So with patience, with support, and the right approach, you can help your parent transition successfully to their new home and to be well taken care of. All right, so that's all I have for today. I hope this information helps you feel more prepared and less alone. If you found this information helpful, please share it with anyone who may need it, family, friends. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more tips and more support. So until next time, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. See you next time.
That's it for today's episode of the Senior Safety Advice Podcast, helping you and your loved ones stay safe, independent, and informed. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe and share it with others who could benefit. For more expert tips and resources, visit seniorsafetyadvice.com. And remember, staying safe starts with staying informed. Until next time, take care and stay safe.